This coming June, we are going back to Pittston, Maine. We did a video on the Maine Fiber Frolic last year, and it was a quick recap about a very wet event. We sped through the vendor halls, we went through the barns, and then we wandered back home, and it rained the entire time. Unfortunately, that tends to be a theme with the Maine Fiber Frolic. It is either way too hot or way too wet. This year, I'm hoping we get somewhere in the middle because it has been a very, very cold March. So we're due for a little bit of decent temperature. So before I go to every event, I do try to plan out what I want to do when I'm there. With the Maine Fiber Frolic, for me, it's mainly vendors. They do have some exhibits, they do have some demos of people doing spinning, of people knitting, of people doing various things with fiber. And this year, I'm still not going to go to the demos. I go to the Maine Fiber Frolic because it's fun to see people, it's fun to see all of the amazing yarn, and it's fun to buy things. So when I go, I'm usually there for about an hour, hour and a half before I head home. And this year will probably be more different. The main difference is this year I've added social media to my pre-event planning. So this year I've kept an eye on the Maine Fiber Frolic's Instagram, and we've gone through and we found a couple things that we may want to buy. So we did just go to the Fiber Witch Festival, so I still have a lot of yarn and a new project bag that I picked up. But that doesn't mean I don't want more. The big thing I'm looking at this year is a yellow and black 2-ply hand-dyed yarn from Hot Knits, and I also want to get a project bag. So my big goal is to get that yellow and black yarn so that I can design a new pattern of wrist warmers that are designed like bumblebee hives. So they'll probably be hexagonal shapes stitched together and, reminiscent of a hive. My other goal, of course, and I think probably a goal for every event that I go to, is going to be at least one project bag. I might actually look at the Get Knit Fit bag because it's very walkable. I'm not sure if they're going to be there again this year, but I was really tempted last time I was there. So before the event, they do have a lot of content or a lot of discussion on Ravelry. It's been a little bit quieter this year, but I will say that they've done an amazing job. They updated their website and it looks very good. The old website wasn't bad, but it was a little bit old-fashioned, we'll say. It was a little bit early internet. The new website looks very updated, it looks modern, it's very pretty, and I love how it looks. And I told them that on Ravelry. I was like, this new website is update is amazing. I love it. What we also do to prep for the Maine Fiber Frolic is there's always a knit along or a crochet along to make a bag to bring with you to the Fiber Frolic. This year, I decided to leave my comfort zone and knit a bag from their suggested patterns. I knit a lot of it while we were at the Fiber Witch Festival, and I finished it probably a week after we got back. It's very small. I don't anticipate that I'm going to buy a lot of yarn, and I got kind of tired of knitting, if I'm completely honest. So the bag is small. It fits, I've taken it to the convenience store a few times, and it fits like 3 or 4 bottles of soda. So, it's a decent size. It'll fit a decent amount of yarn because, of course, yarn squishes and the bag stretches. So it's a good combination. However, what I usually end up doing is making a second bag in a pattern that I've wanted to use instead of the pattern that they've assigned us. And that is the backup bag that I bring with me. So I'll be bringing another crocheted bag that honestly I still have to work on. It'll probably be finished by the time this video comes out though. So for the event, we'll be bringing the knit along bag. If you go to the large barns when you enter the fairgrounds, they usually have someone sitting there that can double check that you've done the crochet along or the knit along and give you a little badge that you can use to show off that you participated in the activity. Then we will explore some vendor halls. We'll hopefully pick up that black and yellow yarn that I really want, and we'll hopefully find some really pretty project bags because I have so many projects and so much yarn. So after that, we'll take a quick look into the used equipment barn, which is where everyone brings their used equipment, whether it's books, spinning wheels, weaving looms, sets of knitting needles, just anything that they want to get rid of that they're able to sell there. Basically just a commission haul. So they can, commission haul would be the closest thing to it. Not entirely sure, I've never actually put something up for sale there. So we'll explore the used equipment barn, and they also have the fleece barn, which we showed last year, where everyone has their full fleeces from sheep that people can take home, process, and make their own fiber goods with. So generally, we'll do the rounds. We'll look at some of the outside vendors who do things like plants used for dyeing. There was a basket weaver last year. There are various local like soap makers, lotion makers, things like that. And then they usually have between 4 and 6 food vendors. So we'll usually grab something to eat, wander our way home, and then we'll head home. So that's the big goal for this year, is I want to, of course, make our video. So we'll have our camera equipment. I'd like to pick up the yellow and black yarn. We might pick up a shawl hook, a shawl pin. I've been looking for a shawl pin that speaks to me, and I have yet to find one. We'll grab a project bag, and we might grab some more yarn. You never know. Some things just speak to you, and you've got to grab it when you're there. So in a couple weeks, we'll be heading to Pittston Fairgrounds, and we'll be there for a few hours while we figure out what we want to buy and what we want to see. And maybe we'll be able to pet some sheep while we're there. So the next time you see me or hear me, it will be after the frolic, and it will be with a recap video, a travel video, and a look at what I found for myself. So thank you for sticking around and watching this brief preparation video for the frolic, but it's also a recap of last year and what we kind of expect for this year. So, thank you for sticking around and watching, and we'll see you in a few weeks.